state and spell your name for the court?
Certainly. Randall with one L, D, work, W-O-R-K.
And were you formerly employed with the Gwinnett County Police Department?
I was.
Tell us what position you held and how long you were with the department.
I started with Gwinnett County Police in May of 1998. I retired from the police department in December of 2022. At the time of my retirement, I was the criminal investigations lieutenant in charge of the property crimes division.
And of course, at the time that you were employed there, you were a certified police officer by the state of Georgia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you are now enjoying retirement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and just take you back over to November 21st of 2021 into the early morning hours of November 22nd of 2021. Were you at the Gwinnett County Police Headquarters in relation to a missing child case?
Yes, ma'am, I was. I was I was the on-call CID lieutenant and had received a telephone call from the chief of police asking about the status of this case. I had not been informed of it, but he had been made aware of it through other channels. Once I found out what was going on, I responded to the Gwinnett County Police Department and assumed command of the detectives that were on scene.
And the detectives were conducting the actual investigation, is that correct?
That is correct, ma'am.
And what was your role there?
I was the on-scene supervisor. I was just there to make sure that everything was done properly.
Do you recall meeting two children by the name of Zer Hall and Jakari Hall that day?
I do.
Do you recall their ages at the time?
5 and 6, I believe.
Okay. And do you also recall being told that you noted injuries or other officers noted injuries on the two individuals?
Yes, ma'am.
And at that point, is there something that you did in order to memorialize those injuries?
Certainly. A little bit of background about me. I was a special victims detective for 3 years. I was also a special victims supervisor for another 3 years. I have a total of 10 years of investigative experience. As soon as I found out that the children had been seen with some injuries, we always document those injuries. So the children were taken down to crime scene supervisor Amanda Wise, where she photographed the injuries on the children.
And this was done there at police headquarters?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were present for those photographs to be
taken?
taken?
I was. You'll see in the photographs that you're probably going to present, you'll see my hands holding a scale up to document the size and scope of the injuries.
Well, since you mentioned them, I do have State's Exhibit number 42 through 48, which I have previously shown to defense counsel. So I'll ask you to please just look through them briefly and tell me what it is before we publish them, or ask to publish them, what we're looking at.
Certainly. The photographs of this child right here, the male, they're all consistent with the photographs that were taken. That's my hand holding up his arm, and that's my hand right there holding up the scale to show some bruising as well.
And the male child, that's Jakari Hall?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And to your knowledge, is that an accurate reflection of the way that you remember Jakari looking and the injuries that you observed on him?
Yes, ma'am.
Any material alterations, deletions to your knowledge?
No, they look pretty accurate.
All right, Judge, I would like to move to tender into evidence State's Exhibit 42 through 48, again previously shown to defense counsel.
That's correct, Judge. Previously shown, no objection.
Admitted without objection.
Thank you. And may I publish those as well?
You may.
All right, I'm showing you what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 42. Tell us what's happening here, please.
This is an overall shot of the male child. Normally in crime scene photography, we start with an overall shot to get the big picture of what is going on, and then we will move in with closer shots later on to show more detail about injuries that could have been found.
And to your knowledge, this is how Jakari came in dressed?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm going to move on to State's Exhibit number 43. Do you see, are there any injuries noted here that were observed?
I don't believe so. I think I would have held a scale up to document them.
Okay. And here, I think it's kind of hard to see from this vantage point. This is going to be State's Exhibit number 44.
Okay.
I'm going to try and zoom in, but any bruises noted or markings noted there on the side? I know there's a bit of a glare.
You can see some bruising, but I would also like to point out the distended belly of the child. During my course of interaction with both children, they were quite hungry, actually. And in fact, during the course of the investigation, they made that known. They said they were hungry and other people were hungry as well. So we ordered some pizza from Papa John's. These two children themselves, at 5 and 6 years old at the time, finished off an entire large pizza between themselves, which is 4 pieces each, as well as a small gluten-free pizza as well. To give you a little background on those.
There's a pointer right there if you'd like to use that.
Certainly. Yes, the distended belly right there. That is indicative of someone who may be malnourished.
All right, well, and the bruising there that you noticed, could you point that out as well?
That could be a possible bruise, and that could be a possible bruise.
All right. Now, this is going to be State's Exhibit number 45, I believe. What are we looking at here?
This is a photograph of the child's back. You can see some discoloration, and I'll point that out. There's a little glare, but there is some discoloration there, and you can see some striation marks and some scabs that were, looks like they're in the process of healing right there, and right there, and right there.
Okay. And then here we have State's Exhibit number 46, and let me just move over, and I think 47, which may be a better vantage point.
Okay.
What is it first of all, is that your hand?
That is my hand.
Okay.
You can see some linear marks that start up there and come down to here. You can also see some scabbing there and some generalized bruising there and there that could have been from someone grabbing the child with great force.
And then is there a measurement of those markings there on the hand as well?
That is correct.
Okay.
And the scale is millimeters on that one.
All right. And that last scale would have been State's Exhibit number 48 also. And Mr. Work, while you interacted with the children, while the children were there, did they seem well behaved to you?
Yes, I didn't have a problem with them at all.
Were they running around?
I can't recall that, ma'am, but I don't believe so.
Okay, and respectful?
They were, yes.
Thank you, sir. That's all the questions I have for you.
I don't have any questions.
May the witness be excused.
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you need these back?